cheap Mercedes convertible can look like a weekend escape or a repair bill with the roof down. We screen 5 roadsters and cabriolets by one rule: what must be healthy before the price makes sense. We cover the R171 SLK, a 209 CLK Cabrio, a 207 E-Class Cabrio, early R230 SL, and facelift R230 SL. See each car cold, scan every module, cycle the roof, inspect drains and hydraulics, verify the VIN, and let the records set the decision. A shiny roof is not proof of a healthy car. The Mercedes badge does not turn inspection rules off. You are buying an engine, transmission, brakes, tires, suspension, roof mechanism, seals, drains, electronics, and the previous owner's storage habits. Mercedes-Benz's official archive separates the 171 Series SLK, the 209 Series CLK Cabrio, the 207 Series E-Class Cabrio, and the 230 Series SL Roadster into different generations with different equipment. Those are different systems, not interchangeable repair stories. Start with the exact model year, engine, transmission, roof type, market option codes, and production date. Compare the claimed mileage with tire dates, seat wear, roof seals, switch wear, and invoices. Demand a true cold start, a Mercedes-capable full module scan, a lift inspection, a complete roof cycle, and a saved VIN report. If a seller refuses an independent inspection, the discount is information, not compensation. The R171 SLK is the compact roadster temptation, a small footprint, a folding metal roof, and an asking price that can look easier than a newer hatchback. Mercedes-Benz's official archive places the 171 Series SLK Roadsters in the 2004 to 2008 period. Age and roof complexity are the first risk multipliers. Start with a completely cold engine and inspect oil leaks, cooling, belt noise, ignition, transmission shifts, and front suspension. Then cycle the roof from fully closed to fully open and back, watching for pauses, warning messages, unusual pump noise, or panels that do not settle evenly. Check the trunk partition, seals, drains, windows, climate, and every switch. Compare the odometer with interior wear and invoices, and ask whether the car was stored outside or modified. Buy the inspection file before the small roadster fantasy. Not judge an SLK roof during one quick demonstration. Ask the seller not to move it before you arrive. Record the first open and close cycle from a cold start, including battery voltage, cycle time, pump sound, window indexing, and the final latch position. Inspect the trunk divider and the seal channels for watermarks or debris. Test the windows, central locking, seats, climate, instrument display, and lighting with the roof both open and closed. Scan the engine, transmission, restraint, roof, body, and comfort modules before any codes are cleared. A roof that works once in warm weather is not the same as a roof with documented service history. The question is whether the evidence explains the price. The A209 CLK Cabrio offers a larger cabin and a traditional fabric roof, which makes it look like a comfortable bargain. Mercedes-Benz's archive identifies the 209 Series CLK convertibles in the 2003 to 2009 range. Start with the exact engine and year, then inspect the cold start, cooling, transmission, brakes, tires, and front suspension. Open and close the fabric roof slowly while watching the windows, latches, headliner, seals, and trunk divider. Look for damp carpets, watermarks, mold odor, blocked drains, and electrical functions that fail only after moisture or heat. Check the roof storage area and the hydraulic or electric assistance history described in the invoices. A clean interior can hide a long period of water entry. The badge matters less than a dry cabin and a complete roof record. On a CLK Cabrio, make the water test part of the inspection rather than a promise for later. Check the footwells, trunk sides, roof storage area, fuse location, seat connectors, and carpet edges for moisture or corrosion. Run the climate, windows, locks, lights, seats, audio, instrument display, and parking aids with the roof open and closed. Scan every module and save the event history before anyone clears it. Inspect the brake discs, tires, underbody, steering, and suspension on a lift. Then drive until the cabin and roof seals are hot. Ask for invoices that identify seal, drain, battery, cooling, and brake work. If a seller calls repeated electrical warnings a single sensor without a report, the paperwork has not explained the car. A 207 E-Class Cabrio is the newer comfort play on this list. Mercedes-Benz's official archive documents the E-Class convertible introduced for the 207 family around 2010, with equipment and engines varying by market and year. Newer does not mean simple. Confirm the exact powertrain, roof specification, options, and service interval. Check the cold start, cooling, oil leaks, transmission behavior, brakes, tires, steering, and suspension. Cycle the roof while checking the headliner, windows, seals, trunk partition, wind deflector, climate, seat controls, and driver assistance features if fitted. Inspect battery and charging voltage before a full scan because low voltage can create unrelated warnings. A comfortable cabin can hide deferred electronics, water management, or suspension work, so let the report, not the model year, set the reserve. Make a list of every fitted comfort feature before negotiating. Test both roof directions from cold and hot, then repeat the windows, seat memory, climate zones, steering wheel controls, navigation, parking sensors, lighting, trunk release, wind deflector, and soft close functions if fitted. Watch for warning messages that appear only after heat or a low voltage event. Inspect the roof seals and drains, then look under the carpets and in the trunk for moisture. Check the battery age, charging voltage, tire dates, brake thickness, and underside condition. Scan the engine, transmission, brake, restraint, suspension, body, roof, and entertainment modules with Mercedes-capable equipment. Ask for invoices that explain batteries, roof work, cooling breaks, and software. If the history says routine maintenance while the scan shows repeated stored faults, the file is incomplete. The early R230SL is the dramatic roadster bargain, a two-seat cabin, a folding hardtop, and flagship hardware at used car money. Mercedes-Benz's official archive places the 230 series SL Roadsters from 2001 to 2006 and documents the model range separately from later updates. The inspection must cover the powertrain and the roof. See it cold, check cooling, oil leaks, transmission behavior, brakes, tires, and suspension, then cycle the roof only after reviewing the hydraulic and electrical history. Measure ride height before and after the car sits, inspect the hydraulic reservoir and lines for evidence of leakage, and check the cabin, trunk, seals, and panel gaps for moisture or previous repairs. A flawless roof demonstration does not prove the chassis or suspension is healthy. Price the entire system, not a cheap convertible with a flagship badge. Our number one is the later R230SL, because it can combine a more modern roadster package with the same need for model year and VIN discipline. Mercedes-Benz's archive documents a 230 series update for 2006 to 2008, but exact engines, options, suspension, and market equipment still vary. Verify the year, engine, roof system, and service history. Inspect the cold start, cooling, transmission, brakes, tires, differential, suspension height, hydraulic lines, roof latches, seals, trunk drains, and electronics. Scan every module and check the VIN for campaigns, accident history, and matching invoices. Look for modifications that change the suspension, exhaust, wheels, or calibration. A well-documented SL can be a wonderful car. A cheap one with a missing roof or suspension history is performance debt disguised as luxury. Save this 6-step process before you visit any cheap Mercedes convertible. First, see it completely cold and record battery and charging voltage. Second, photograph the VIN and confirm the exact engine, transmission, roof type, market, and options. Third, scan every module and save the report before anyone clears faults. Fourth, put it on a lift and inspect brakes, tires, leaks, drains, seals, suspension, steering, and underbody damage. Fifth, cycle the roof repeatedly from cold and hot, then drive until the car is warm and retest warning messages, climate, seats, windows, and electronics. Sixth, request a written priority list. Safety now, reliability soon, cosmetics later. Have the technician separate confirmed faults from items that only need monitoring, record roof cycle times and ride height, and attach photos to the report. Photograph every warning and note the exact temperature, cycle number, and battery voltage when it appeared. Ask whether a repair requires a specialist calibration or a second leak test. Ask for a cold and hot roof test on video if the seller cannot attend. Record whether the cycle stops at the same point. Price the first year reserve before you negotiate. If the seller refuses a cold start or independent scan, the inspection has already answered the question. The SLK gives you compact hardtop complexity. The CLK Cabrio adds a fabric roof and older electronics. The E-Class Cabrio adds comfort systems. And the R230SL adds flagship hydraulics and roadster hardware. None is automatically a mistake. None is automatically a bargain. The winning purchase has a true cold start, a saved full module scan, a dry cabin, a complete roof cycle, a lift inspection, VIN verified campaigns, brake and tire measurements, and invoices that explain the expensive systems. It also has a seller who accepts independent evidence and a buyer who can walk away from missing records, separate confirmed faults from future maintenance, and ask the specialist to estimate parts, labor, and time without pretending the estimate is a guarantee. Have the shop state which finding is unsafe to drive on, which can wait, and which needs another test. Leave room for taxes, transport, tires, and a second inspection. Keep a reserve for roof seals, tires, brakes, transport, and one surprise. Even when the initial inspection looks clean and complete, ownership costs arrive after the handshake. Do not confuse fresh detailing or a perfect roof demonstration with maintenance. Buy the one whose evidence makes the future cost understandable. If the seller refuses the evidence, keep your money and keep searching.